Good morning, everybody. Today's August 27th, 2018. Welcome to First Cup. My name's Jeremy Lesniak, and this is my first cup of coffee. It's taken me nearly an hour to get to this point. I was up at 6, and it's nearly 7. Because there's stuff that I have to do. Like I had to bring out the trash. Because sometimes the trash haulers, Casella, come at like 6:30. Sometimes they come at like 10. It's very strange. And while I was out there, I dumped the compost and picked up the bird feeder that the bear destroyed, finally, like 2 weeks later. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I was so mad. It was definitely a bear. But it was weird because he didn't bite through the actual feeder. He just bent the crud out of the pole. Anyway, so today is my last day of work until next Monday. I'm on vacation. And in a way, I'm on vacation now, but I'm not. So here's what I mean. When you run a business like this, a retail business, there are always inquiries coming in. And if you don't have people who can answer your emails for you and answer the phone and things like that, it still has to come to you. Because you can't just shut down the business. That doesn't work. It doesn't work well anyway. So I learned years ago, because I've worked for myself for pretty much my entire career, that it's better to just accept it, do a little bit of email in the morning, and go on with your day. And so that's what I'll do. Now today, I've got my little bit of email I've got to do, but I've also got my two side jobs. Right? I coach CrossFit tonight because I'm not around on Wednesday to coach CrossFit, and then helping my friends out at Philibot this morning because I won't be around on Thursday, which is when I normally do those two things. So I packed that into the front of the week, and tomorrow morning I'm off. And rather than tell you everything I'm going to be doing, I'll tell you as it happens, because I won't be able to talk much about the business because there won't be much to talk about. But I do fully plan to continue First Cup. Yeah, there shouldn't be any issues. I should be at hotels or coffee shops or anything. I probably won't do this in a coffee shop. I'd do it in the car or something. Because while I'm sure there are people who have no problem recording episodes in public, that's weird to me, and I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you that the first leg of the journey tomorrow is that I'm headed to Maine. I will do First Cup here, and then shortly after I'll be in the car and gone. So, what else can I tell you? On Friday, another product sample came. It needs very slight modification to meet our standards, and of course we'll get branding and things like that, but those will be happening soon, so I'm really excited about that. I think that's the big thing. A really fun episode dropped this morning. Grandmaster Joe Rebello, Kempo Joe. You should check that out. Even if you're not a Kempo practitioner, he's an entertaining guy, and just there are some people who you talk to them and you can tell that martial arts is just woven into their soul, and he's one of them. So check that out. You can find it here on YouTube. You can find it on the website, whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. You can find it in your podcast feed, whatever podcast app you use, it should be there. If it's not, let us know. We try to make sure it's everywhere, but I know it's at all the biggies. Yeah. Over the weekend, had a fun experience. Went with a family to Fort Ticonderoga in New York, which there's a lot of history there, and not having grown up in Vermont, I missed out on learning all that history. I've learned that as a fourth grader, most Vermont students take a trip to Ticonderoga and learn about everything, learn about the war with the Republic of Vermont, because apparently I knew Vermont wasn't a state in the beginning, but I didn't realize it was that separate, that there was battling happening. But it was cool. Got to see the fort, and a lot of great history. As you might imagine, I'm always drawn to the weapons, the ancient weapons. Not really ancient, I guess in this case, older firearms, older knives, swords, and just kind of how they handled things. So that was a really good time. We walked through some gardens, we walked through a corn maze, and I rode my motorcycle out there. It was about 2 hours each way, so it was a nice, beautiful day for a ride. Actually, the first half hour was not beautiful. It was cold and foggy, and yeah, just generally unpleasant. But once the fog broke and it warmed up, it was great. And at one point, I looked up because something caught my eye, and about 20 feet over my head, there was a bald eagle. It was nuts. It's huge. It was right there. It was right there. I could make out the details of its eyeball. It was that close. It was huge. So that was fun. It made me feel like a real American in that moment. What else happened this weekend? I don't think I did any work. I think I responded to a couple Facebook messages that came in, but that's it. I need this vacation, guys. I really do. I need this time off. I'm exhausted. I'm so fried. I'm so fried. One of the mistakes I made, and I'm aware of this in hindsight, one of the mistakes I made before really jumping with both feet for Whistlekick is that I didn't take real time off. That was the point where I could have, taken a couple months and, flown to Thailand and just sat on the beach. But I didn't do that. I started work. I started Whistlekick. I really pushed forward with it. And I'm not going to say I regret that, because who knows where things would be now if I hadn't done that. But I wish I had. Hindsight's 2020, right? We look back and we see what we could have done differently, what we should have done differently. I'm not really a fan of using those words, but if life is learning what not to do, there's an example of something that I don't think was the best choice for me at that time. Coffee is good. I drank way too much coffee yesterday. I think I had 5 cups. Just bouncing around. I don't know what else to say. Make sure you take care of yourself. At least in American culture, there's this value we put on being a martyr sometimes. Oh, I can't do that. I have, 10,000 hours of work. I have no money because I have so many children. You talk yourself into that stuff. You talk yourself into being miserable, into being broke. Don't do it. Be fair to yourself. Take care of yourself. And try to stay positive. I know it's easier said than done. But whether you look at the world through a religious lens or not, I think there are anecdotes and stories and plenty of other things to justify being fair to yourself and taking care of yourself. So do that. I'm going to go. I got email to do. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.